She often says, "Oh, I just finished my lunch and here's what I had." And she had the status special Holocaust recipe. What?
Would anybody like a copy of the liturgy? Somebody's got one out. There's seats in here, 1, 2, 3 cushions, 3 chairs. If anyone would like to come into the inner part, would be welcome.
Cookbook.
Okay, thanks, Diane. Good morning. Can you hear in the back? So welcome. My name is Erik Fromme. I'm one of the assistant teachers here at KCC, joined by Bill and Dora. And I think Zopa might be upstairs streaming. She is having some trouble with her breathing and coughing this morning. But we welcome you to our Sangha this morning, a special welcome to those of you who are new or relatively new. And a special welcome to those who are watching on the streaming. Good morning. Today's schedule is the usual Sunday schedule of a little bit less than an hour of calm abiding meditation, followed by a break, followed by our question and answer and discussion period that will take us up to about 11 o'clock. We begin our practice this morning by going for refuge. And I confess I've been thinking a lot about refuge lately. I'm in the process of moving my family across the country to New England. And I have this experience that I'm taking what was a life that I very intentionally built as a support for my practice, a life that I sort of had everything worked out the way I wanted it to be. And I'm basically letting that go and starting over from scratch. As I type out my little things that I do in the morning, as I was typing that, I began to feel dizzy. Unmoored, groundless. And of course I'm doing it because I think I have what is the opportunity of my lifetime. But one thing that my meditation practice and my medical practice both tell me is that I am lousy at predicting the future. And so while I have what appears to be a wonderful opportunity, nothing is guaranteed. Well, what seems pretty well guaranteed is that I am separating myself in time and space from relationships that I've built over 20 years, from a thriving faith community that I love, from my parents, from my palliative care team that I work with, all of whom every member of that team save one I've hired. And on the one hand, I know from my work that eventually time and impermanence, the truth of impermanence, means that all things change and eventually everything fades. And a part of me knows that because of the truth of emptiness, that none of these things are really mine. None exist in the way that I think they do, except maybe in my own imagination. And even the I that thinks that it's suffering these losses doesn't really exist. The one thing that all this reflection does is to make me feel so very, very grateful to be here with you right now. Thank you all so very, very much for everything that you've done for me and my daughter Lauren over the past 20 years plus. And please forgive me for leaving to chase a dream that may or may not be worthwhile. And please know that I love you all. So I hope now we can take a moment to reflect on all the conditions in our lives that have come together to allow us to be here, right now, able to practice in this amazing tradition for our own benefits and the benefit of all beings. And I hope that as we take a moment to reflect, that like me, you're also able to feel grateful. And now from that place, let's recite our traditional refuge and bodhicitta prayer.
Until the summit of enlightenment is reached, I and all beings go for refuge to the sources of true refuge. I will now practice the absorption of calm abiding in order to release all beings from their particular suffering and establish them in lasting peace and happiness. Until the summit of enlightenment is reached, I and all beings go for refuge to the sources of true refuge. I will now practice the absorption of calm abiding in order to release all beings from their particular suffering and establish them in lasting peace and happiness. Until the summit of enlightenment is reached, I and all beings go for refuge to the sources of true refuge. I will now practice the absorption of calm abiding in order to release all beings from their particular suffering and establish them in lasting peace and happiness.
So as we begin our calm abiding practice, this week I have some instructions. I'm pretty sure that this practice comes from Thich Nhat Hanh, but the version that I'm using I have gotten from the Zen teacher Norman Fisher from his Everyday Zen podcast. And it's a calm abiding practice using the breath. And the practice has 7 steps, and you don't have to remember all the steps. If you can, that's fine. And if you can only remember one that you can practice that seems compelling to you, that'll also be fine. But we'll begin by walking through the 7 steps together. So in preparation for that, let's begin by being aware of our own bodies sitting. Feel any sensations, any strain, just your posture. When you're ready, establish your breathing in your belly. So as we begin step 1, breathing in, I'm aware I'm breathing. Breathing out, I'm aware I'm breathing out. If you want, you can say those words inwardly to yourself. But the important thing is to enact them and to really be aware. I'm breathing in and I'm breathing out. Step 2. Breathing in, I bring peace to my breathing. Breathing out, I bring peace to my breathing. Step 3. Breathing in, I am aware of my whole body. Breathing out, I am aware of my whole body. Now you can feel your breath illuminating, infusing through your whole body. Feel your whole body illuminated by your breath. Step 4. Breathing in, I bring peace to my body. Breathing out, I bring peace to my body. Here, if there's any tension in your body, you can just feel it release and relax. Step 5. Breathing in, I feel joy. Breathing out, I feel joy. Norman says, joy is such an odd word. I don't think we really understand what it means. We usually associate it with intense pleasure, but I think real joy is something else. So maybe let's, without having any idea what real joy is, just practice like this. Breathing in, I feel joy. Breathing out, I feel joy. And perhaps we can discover what joy is. Step 6. Breathing in, I let go. Breathing out, I let go. So if you were feeling some joy, let go of that. Or whatever you're feeling. Let it go. Let everything go as if you are taking your last breath. Totally at peace. Last step, 7. I am breathing in this moment, which is fading. I am breathing out this moment, which is fading. Breathing in and out in the middle of time. So that's the practice, and as I said, you don't need to remember all the steps, but I invite you to practice one or more that seem compelling for you at this time. Right now, until Carolyn rings the bell. take a moment to stretch, readjust your posture. Let's do some.
By this virtue may I quickly realize Mahamudra and establish all beings without exception in this state.
All right. So now we have some announcements and then our break. And things to know, there are things to make tea with in the kitchen, and please help yourself to a cup of tea. And there are 3 bathrooms. One if you walk straight back in the kitchen. The second is at the top of the stairs on the 2nd floor to the right. And then if you go down into the basement, there's also a bathroom there to the right of the stairs. And let me see, I assume that there are announcements, but I don't know what any of them are, so check with Bill.
We can trade off between some, and we'll get to Phil in a second. Probably the first thing I'll start with is the one that is farther out, and that is the visit with Kempelodra Dunya Rinpoche at the end of June. And he is now the individual who we maintain connections to from our lineage, and he's the student of Boka Rinpoche, who was in turn the primary disciple of Kalan Rinpoche, who founded the center. So this is a very rare opportunity. He's just been here a couple of times, and there are a few people who've had the opportunity to see him here, and then also some have taken the opportunity to go to India for seminars in Kempo. But this visit will just be 1 week, and so it also happens to rather remarkably coincide with, I think in my mind, it's the day that the paint actually dries in our new urban center, so that we can comfortably inhabit it. So Kempo Rinpoche will be doing some things to bless the new center and wish us well for our new chapter in our Dharma activity. And that will happen on Tuesday morning, June 27th. And this is going to roughly happening just the week leading into July 4th. Rinpoche will also have an opportunity to go up and spend a day with the people who are on 3-year retreat, and then come back, and then the weekend will have a series of teachings Friday evening and Saturday and Sunday at our new center. And there's details of that are starting to come out.
Yeah, we've sent out a save the date, so if you're on our announcement list, you'd be getting that, and if you're not on our announcement list, it would be good to get there so that you get this kind of information. And soon, we have the topics of the teachings will be coming out, and registration will be opening probably in the next couple of weeks. But right now, the kind of the general framework is on the website, I think.
Working backwards from there, when's Michael's teaching?
May 13th.
May 13th. May 13th.
It's not really clear.
What's that?
Well, you're skipping around.
Oh, well.
Okay.
All right.
Lama Dripju with you if you're working
backwards.
backwards.
Yes. Okay. Working backwards, Lama Dripju AKA Tony Chapman, who's one of the very early students of Colin Rinpoche, who actually did the first, took part in the first 3-year retreat in the West, and was later asked to be a retreat master by Colin Rinpoche. He's going to be visiting because he will also be going up to do some things for the people on 3-year retreat, and he'll be here one evening on Wednesday,
May 24th.
May 24th. So this is also a great opportunity. You have, with Khenpo Rinpoche, you have somebody steeped in the training as presented traditionally for his entire life, since he was very, very young. And with Lama Drupchu, you have somebody who has got in on the ground floor with receiving the teachings in this tradition, and has spent his life pondering how it is to maintain the authenticity and depth of this tradition while making it accessible. So it's a great opportunity to spend an evening with him. That's in lieu of our usual Chenrezig practice. Then, staying with my reverse chronology, we get back to the teaching by Lama Michael on Saturday, May 13th, and that will be a mind teaching and mind training, the first 3 points of mind training. And this is intended for people who have some experience. This is an opportunity to go deeper into some of the more pithy elements of the mind training. So there will be some prerequisites in that, but for all of us who've been really delving into that over the years, this would be a great opportunity to be inspired to new dimensions, next steps in our practice of that. Rolling back from that, what would be next?
I think there's 2 more classes in Jeff and Sally's class, Care and Feeding of Your Daily Practice. That's Tuesday evenings, 7 to 9, and it's been going really well, I think, and you're welcome to join even if you haven't been attending so far.
I had the opportunity to stream it last Tuesday evening. I was got off work late and was just getting out of the shower and relaxing a little bit after coming back from working on the new center, and it was very enjoyable to. And I think it would be accessible for anybody to drop in at any moment and get kind of some sense of it. And when's the next young adult group?
It's the first Friday of every month.
First Friday of the month. So
The third maybe?
the 3rd.
So
it's coming up.
ACC, yeah, from 7 to 9, and you can talk to me or Holly up there.
And now, Phil? Oh, and well,
I was in Aurora on Friday, and Kay Hartzog handed this to me and said, this is a care package for SCOL, for the retreatants at SCOL. Please take this up to KCC. So, does anyone have plans to go?
In the basement, there's a box that says SCOL on it.
Okay, good,
And
good.
then, and
Thank you.
whoever goes will check.
that's the Pony Express system.
Yeah.
You just have to wait for the horse to arrive.
And nobody goes before then. There's a work party on the 6th of May. So we're still clearing land out there so that we can get some reimbursement from, I don't remember which entity it is, some federal entity.
Government?
Yeah. So, yeah, so if you're interested in doing that, it's fun to go out and just be outside and clearing brush and making bonfires and just enjoying working together. And it's fun to ride out together also. So if you're interested in that, you can talk to me, or there's sheet in back that's got little tags you can tear off to get a hold of Adele Wilson too. So.
The retreat land it's a beautiful trip out. It's a beautiful place to be, and it's a wonderful opportunity to get some sense of the environment where the 3-year retreat is underway.
Especially at this time of year, great time of year. That reminds me of there's also volunteer opportunities at the new urban center where lots of construction work is going on. And if you're interested in volunteering and haven't done that yet, in on the kitchen bulletin board, there's a little tear off contact information for Adele Filson. And that's a good way to get tuned in
You can also talk to me.
or talk to Bill.
All right.
Good enough.
All right, so enjoy your break. We'll be back in when Carolyn starts to ring the bell. That'll be the signal.
Where you guys live? Salem.
Delicious